Most attractive, mighty Leeds face the game's newest club, Sheffield Eagles, at Headingley. Doug Lawton's Leeds are the form side in the big league, just one defeat in 3 months and Challenge Cup semi-finalists. Their impressive run began with an important win at Warrington on Friday night's big league. It was a significant victory too, their first away from home. The Kiwi partnership of Craig Innes and Kevin Iro has played a big part in the Leeds revival. They'll no doubt feature in next season's test against Great Britain, but more urgently for Leeds fans, that could be the key to their assault on Wembley. As they've progressed in the Cup, Leeds' big league programme has been interrupted. Their last win in the Championship came nearly a month ago. Innes and Iro were again instrumental in Leeds' 18-16 win at Hull Kingston Rovers. But even the Kiwi double act couldn't stop Wigan on Wednesday night as the title favourites brought the unbeaten run to a shuddering halt. Gary Hetherington now has Leeds in his sights. The Eagles are the team that Gary built. In the big league for only the second time in their history, they kicked off the Friday night programme on Sky in style. They lost against Wigan, but scored one of the night's best tries. Still in with a chance of their first ever appearance in the First Division Premiership, the Eagles are also a bit concerned with the struggle to get away from the other end of the table. They lost last time out to an improving Lee side, but Mark Aston knows his way over the line. So Leeds face the Eagles at Headingley in Sunday's big league. There were 20,000 inside Headingley on Wednesday night for the visit of Wigan, and they've turned up again here to see whether Leeds' good run in the Stonesbitter Championship and the Challenge Cup can be continued. This is the team that Leeds hope will bring home the points tonight. Alan Tate is the fullback. On the wing, Jim Fallon, he will wear 2. Kevin Iro, the big Kiwi, the beast, is in 3. Simon Irving moves off the wing into the centre to cover for Craig Innes, who's moved forward to stand off. Irving will wear 4. And 16 years old and still an amateur, Paul Cook makes his big league debut on Sky in 5. Craig Innes has moved to 6 to cover for the Great Britain captain, Gary Schofield. James Lowes is the halfback. Andy Gregory is out injured. Paul Anderson gets his chance at prop forward. Steve Malloy is away on international duty. Colin Maskill plays his first match for 17 games. He's the hooker in 9. And Mike O'Neill is the prop forward who wears 10. Paul Dixon, ever present in the Leeds pack this season, wears 11. Alongside him, Graham Middleton playing only his 3rd full game for Leeds in 12. And Gary Mercer takes the place of Ellery Hanley at loose forward. Hanley too across the channel with Great Britain. And the coach is Doug Lawton. The Sheffield Eagles dressing room. The Eagles know that the Premierships are beckoning. They'll go just 1 point behind Leeds if they win today, but relegation also could be a problem. This is their team. Former Australian international Gary Jack is the fullback. Linton Stott gets his chance on the wing, one of the outstanding young talents in the game. Richard Price is in the centre, he will wear 3. Alongside him is Mark Gampson, he's in 4. And David Plange plays on the wing in 5. There's no Darryl Powell today, he is the travelling reserve with Great Britain, so Mark Aston switches to stand-off. Aston will wear 6, and it means that Tim Lum gets his chance at scrum half in 7. Paul Broadbent is the prop forward in 8. Anthony Farrell kicked off the season on Sky against Wigan in the hooker's role and scored a great try. He's in 9 again today. The front row completed by Dale Lawton, the prop forward wearing 10. Former Great Britain international, he won 1 cap in 1986 against the French. Neil James is in the 2nd row wearing 11. The Australian international Bruce Maguire plays in the 2nd row too. He's in 12. And another Aussie, Paul Carr, completes the Sheffield Eagles lineup. He's in 13, the loose forward. And the Eagles coach is Gary Hetherington. And Sheffield Eagles being led out by the other fullback, Gary Jack, the former Australian international with 20 caps for his country. A try against Leeds in December in the victory at Don Valley for Gary Jack. A try against Leeds in 1986 on the Kangaroo Tour when the Aussies beat Leeds by 40 points to 0. Let's take a check on the substitutes for you today. Leeds have got 2 youngsters, 18-year-old Lee Harland in 15 and Graham Holroyd. He's only 16 and he is in 14. And Sheffield Eagles have got Mick Cook, the hooker, in 14, and Great Britain under 21 international Ian Hughes wearing 15. Linton Stott signed at Christmas from Woolston Amateurs in Warrington. He's a goal-kicking fullback. He made his debut on the wing against Salford, played his second game against Lee here on Sky Sports, and takes the number 2 jersey again today here at Headingley. The match referee, Robin Whitfield from Widnes. The Leeds mascot there, by the way, is Hannah Barmforth. She's 9 years old, tossing the coins. She attends Ninelands Lane Junior School. Her hobbies apparently are swimming and drama. Her favourite player is Gary Schofield, the British captain, not here today, unfortunately for her. And she tells us that her favourite food is jacket potato and cheese. A good rugby league lunch. So another good crowd in at Headingley. 20,000 midweek. And we're just about ready then for Leeds against Sheffield Eagles here on Sky Sports from Headingley. Leeds 6th in the table. Their 9-match winning sequence coming to an abrupt halt against Wigan on Wednesday. They'll want to get back on track with Widnes due in the semi-final at Wigan next Saturday. And it's Neil James who has the ball at the moment for Sheffield Eagles from Alan Tate's kick-off. But important, Mike Stevenson, with that cup semi-final due next Saturday, that Leeds keep on track.
It's all about building the confidence for that semi-final game, and if they get off to a good start here, and that certainly will help them.
For Sheffield, of course, totally different, their priorities. If they win today, they just are a point behind Leeds and really will have prospects of a place in the Premiership playoffs for the first time in their history. If they lose, well, they could well find themselves slipping down the table, the wrong end. The kick downfield was from Mark Aston. Here's the captain. Whoa, that was high. Mark Gamson with a swinging arm. The referee didn't agree, though.
Well, that was really heavy stuff. Gamson on the fullback, Alan Tate. Tate got to his feet, looked at the touch judge, looked towards Robin Whitfield, got no joy apart from the marble shaking round in his head.
This is James Lowes playing at scrum half today because Andy Gregory is injured. At half-back where he made his name with Hunslet. This is Gary Mercer, loose forward today. Big raw-boned Kiwi. I mean, a good season here at Headingley. That's a good ball to Tate. Tate has got Craig Innes, and there was a chance there for Simon Irving, steaming up inside, but Irving just couldn't hang on.
Well, it was a beautiful pass by Tate. Irving should have taken that. Looking quite ominous, the Sheffield defence dropping off the tackles. Saw the loose forward, Gary Mercer, just bounce away from 3 would-be tacklers. I won't please their coach, Gary Hetherington, one little bit.
Yes, Eagles beaten by Lee on Sky 2 weeks ago. It was their 6th defeat in 7 games. They're now fighting for survival again. But they have the experience out there to halt this run and really give Leeds a bit of a torrid time today with some of those star names missing. That's Tim Lunn, and that's Mark Aston, and he helps the ball on. 4 of them waiting.
Talking of stars, Eddie, the clash between Mark Aston and Craig Innes in the number 6 shirts, that should be a belter today.
Gamson the dummy half. There is Mark Aston. And that's Paul Broadbent going down under the challenge from Paul Dixon. It was the last one, so Aston will kick downfield, aims for the corner, but he didn't find touch. And so Jim Fallon, who was limping a few moments ago, is able to pick up and make a few metres progress. The tackling by Paul Carr on Kevin Iro. Good defence this is from Sheffield Eagles. Carr again at the heart of it all. Now Paul Anderson. Outstanding forward prospect, only 21 here at Headingley, Paul Anderson. Mike O'Neill at the other end of the age scale, 32 years old. Played in 2 Widnes sides, incidentally, which beat Leeds in Challenge Cup semi-finals, did Mike O'Neill. Gary Jack on the fly now. David Plange, the dummy half. Aston, little call from Richard Price.
Leeds will be well served to use a kicking game well away from Gary Jack. There's one player out there that can make the break for Sheffield. The Australian fullback is it.
This is the prop forward Dale Lawton, last season in the second row. Gary Jack, one of the key figures in this Sheffield side. Now Aston and Richard Price. There's Gary Jack. Good reverse pass to Gamson. Gamson helped it on to Price. Price just bounces off Iro. He's still going and Iro gets him second time. Good run that was from Richard Price. Here's Aston coming back on the blind side, then switching the direction of play. Broadbent couldn't hold on.
Wasted opportunity there by the prop forward Paul Broadbent, but good play by Sheffield. They split this Leeds defence there. The break by Richard Price, Eddie, I just got the impression that he took the wrong option. He had one man inside him, it was Mark Aston.
5 minutes gone and it's 0-0. Anderson has it for Leeds. Now Paul Dixon, Great Britain international of 15 caps, ever present in that Leeds pack so far this season. Tate will hoist the kick downfield. That's spinning everywhere, and Gary Jack got it at the second attempt.
Well, I'm sure the Leeds coach Doug Lawton will be happy with Tate's attempts downfield. That's the second time they just bombed it right down the throat of Gary Jack.
Aston to Paul Carr, and Carr saw a little gap. Aston was the man backing up. He turns the ball back to Tim Lum, and Tim Lum tackled by James Lowe's, 2 former Hunslet colleagues there, the 2 number 7s on show here today. Bruce Maguire now. First glimpse this afternoon of Linton Stott, the young winger. Ashton, little chip over the top. That's good thinking by the standoff, but not the best pass as he went down under the challenge from Innes. But neat thinking by him.
Lovely play there by Aston. He could see that Leeds didn't have a sweeper. Neat little chip over. Just that last pass going astray. That's 2 opportunities that Sheffield have gone. Really should have capitalised on that, really.
You notice Leeds back in automatic possession because that was on the last tackle, that little pass out wide from Aston that bounced into touch. So it's the turnover after 6 tackles. This is Gary Mercer. And a rare mistake from Kevin Iro, just couldn't hang on to that, but credit Mark Gamson with a very timely tackle.
It's all about putting the pressure on, isn't it? There you see the Kiwi international Kevin Iro having all the problems. First 5 minutes, the Sheffield defence was all astray, but they've certainly tightened that up now.
Carr came out of the scrum there. David Plange was packing down at loose forward, and Carr was standing out wide. But that's a good tackle by Kevin Iro. It was on his opposite number, Richard Price. This is Maguire, and Iro trying to make amends for that little error. But Maguire is able to take the ball to himself. There was no marker standing in front of him. Richard Stott picks himself up. Here comes Sheffield again with Lum. Long pass from him, almost to no one. Aston got it first bounce. This now is Gary Jack. Still going, Gary Jack. What a great run this is. This is going to be a magnificent try, is it? Yes, it is. Great try from the Australian Gary Jack. He sliced through the Leeds defence.
The former Australian Test star, Gary Jack, links in. It wasn't the best pass, but Aston threw the ball out wide. See how he runs at the angle. Fallon goes across. The sliding defence was nowhere to be seen. They did not fill the gap. And even though Tate's desperate attempt, it could not stop Gary Jack. Good play. Not the best ball from Price. It was Aston that clinks it through. You can see how the defence is not shifting over. Throws the dummy. Fallon's left on his own. Colin Maskell had no answer for that. If you don't slide in, fill in the gaps, this is what happens. Sheffield fully deserves the try.
Great try from Gary Jack, his 7th of the season, and he scored against Leeds in the victory at Don Valley in December. Mark Aston then from bang in front to give Sheffield Eagles a great start here. 9 minutes gone, the Eagles ahead 6-0.
You can see that the defence is not moving in. It has to shift across. The gap comes through. You'll see Fallon come across here. Watch him go. Inside. If you don't shuffle in it quick enough, he's got the speed. The veteran fullback. Nice try.
So Alan Tate restarts. And the Sheffield Eagles have got the sniff of an upset here. Seeking their first ever win at Headingley. But they have lost their last 7 away games. The last win at Hull Kingston Rovers in September away from Don Valley. But a great start for them here. Scampering little run from Tim Lum as we cross the 10th minute, with Leeds ahead by 6, with Sheffield Eagles ahead by 6 points to 0. Gary Jack dumps the ball downfield. And Alan Tate met by David Plange with a little bit of help from Mark Gamson and dumped unceremoniously to the floor. Innes now. Anderson. Of course, it's difficult for a team to reorganise, Mike, when players like Malloy, Schofield and Hanley are away for Great Britain. It tests the depth of the Leeds squad.
Well, when you take out 3 great players like that, as you say, it's not easy, but they still have the skill out there. But really what Leeds appear to be lacking is someone taking control.
Innes left-footed over the top. Neat kick. What a good play he's developing into, Craig Innes.
Yeah, we've still plenty of time. It'll be very interesting to see how he fits into the number 6 position. Obviously he'll be getting more work today. But whether he has the quality to take control, we'll have to wait and see.
I remember seeing Craig Innes on his debut, and he had to fill in that day in the Challenge Cup tie at standoff half, because Gary Schofield that day had gone off with a broken jaw. Innes, there he is, in no doubt what is required of him today in that role. Gary Jack held on to that well. And he's found Mark Gamson. Gamson is brought to earth by Lowe's. Price, the dummy half. He finds Paul Carr. Good run from Carr. Showing lots of strength, ended by Graham Middleton. Lum. There's a high one. Little tester for Alan Tate. He's got his back to it, but he took it very well and got away from Tim Lum. But he couldn't get away from the second man, Bruce Maguire.
Ice cool, the fullback Alan Tate. What a great take that was. Just seen a few of these Leeds defenders. Really, they're going too high. No one wants to go low. And if it spreads, it can cause a lot of problems.
Paul Anderson. Dummy half was Maskell. He's found Mercer. Mercer, who really did start to cause problems early on. Now Fallon. Jim Fallon. Halted by Maguire. Fallon, the man, of course, who scored 2 tries last Saturday that took Leeds to the semi-finals of the Cup. Innes now. And Irving again can't hold on, and Richard Price has dropped on the loose ball. And it was a good job that Craig Innes was back and tackling him. And Innes there again, doing lots of hard work around the play of the ball. Craig Innes. Gary Jack, tackled by Irving. Tim Lum, Broadbent. Dale Lawton, the prop forward. Last tackle, Eagles on the Leeds quarter, and Aston fancying a drop goal attempt, and he's pushed it wide.
Just fading away to the right-hand side, but good thinking by Aston. You'll see on the replay, it just fades away to the right.
So it stays 6-0, 14 minutes gone. Mike O'Neill for Leeds. O'Neill and Tate looking forward to that semi-final next week against their former club Widnes. And Colin Maskell, number 9 there, just picking himself up from the tackle, trying for a big game here today to push himself into contention for a place in that team too. But James Lowe, scrum half today, the man he has to dispossess. It's now is Middleton.
Well, a pretty excited centre Mark Gampson there, offering a few facials.
Tate kicking ahead on the last tackle. No one putting any pressure on Gary Jack. But well, Mercer and Iro getting to him in the end.
There's no point in hoisting a bomb like that if you're not going to have the runners. You can see quite clearly there, no Leeds players run forward. Jack had all the time in the world. They're just not getting it right, I'm afraid, Leeds, at the moment.
Lum to Lawton. And possession is going Sheffield's way at the moment, as is the match, because they're leading 6-0. Aston's kick downfield is collected by Jim Fallon. Telling me last Saturday after the semi-final, I called him in the past not the fastest, but certainly one of the strongest. He can apparently do 10.8 for the 100 metres, so he is no slouch.
That was a great tackle by Linton Stott. He's in for his second one as well, and he's coming for his third. Good defence.
Got the bit between the teeth all right, Sheffield Eagles. Good run from Middleton, though, with the attentions of Bruce Maguire all round him. Finished off in the end by Broadbent. Maskell to Paul Anderson. Anderson trying to break through and releasing a great pass to Maskell. Maskell's got Lowe's, and Gary Jack wheels him in. Good tackling from the fullback.
And it had to be as well. That was excellent play by Leeds.
Well, it is just found a little bit of ground over there in play.
Magnificent kick this. Inches to spare. Radar boot there, Craig Innes.
That Rydell York Cup tie was the one where Innes had to fill in for the injured Schofield at standoff half. Now then, they get possession from the scrum to Leeds, one against the head. This is James Lowe's, and it was good tackling that kept him out, and he managed to stay in the field of play. Now Mercer, good tackle that was too. It was by Maguire, the raw-boned Aussie. Innes to Irving. Leeds looking for the try that will pull them back into this match, with captain for the day, Alan Tate. Tate seeing the gap, and Tate has come up with a 4-pointer. Alan Tate's 7th try of the season.
Excellent play by the fullback. He came into dummy half. He just showed the ball. The Sheffield defence hung off him. The gap appeared enough for this guy to go over. Great try. There you can see Sheffield, with all at sea in the second marker division, just steps on the gas, doesn't he? You don't have to throw a dummy. Sometimes if you just slow the game down to the pace, let the defence come to you, hang back, the gap appears, and he took that advantage.
A try in midweek against Wigan for Alan Tate in the defeat. And a try here today against Sheffield Eagles, right under the posts, which means that Simon Irving has the easiest of conversion attempts to add to that 23-goal tally for this season. Bang in front. Makes no mistake. Flags aloft. The four's turned into try apiece. The Leeds try from Alan Tate and Gary Jack with the Sheffield try. So the two full-backs getting their names on the score sheet today.
Classy play there by Alan Tate. Mentioning the fact that he didn't have to throw the dummy, he just slowed the game right down. The defence held off, the gap appeared, had the speed to take advantage.
Of course, not only Jack and Tate, two full-backs on the score sheet, the two captains today on the score sheet too. Maskill's the dummy half. This is Paul Anderson. Be interested to see whether Sheffield get a bit dispirited because they've conceded that try, or whether they maintain this good start they've made to this match. O'Neill in possession for Leeds.
Well, they should feel very disappointed, Sheffield, because their defence for so long had been so tight, and then they just let themselves down at the vital moment.
We're midway through the first half of this Stonesborough Championship match at Headingley. It's Leeds 6, Sheffield Eagles 6, and Kevin Iro, the Kiwi, in possession. Another New Zealander, Craig Innes, takes over. That's a good tackle by the Australian Paul Carr, just tapped his ankle. Last one, Tate again. Aims it to the corner, and, well, they must have radar in those boots, as Mike Stevenson said. That ball, in the end, just dabbed dead by Gary Jack.
Much better kicking game from Alan Tate. You could see there, he'd pushed it right into the corner, not down the throat of that man there. The experience of Gary Jack ensuring that he just patted the ball over, dead in goal.
And then drops out and doesn't get too much length on the kick. But Middleton misread it. It went over his head and was eventually collected here by Gary Mercer. He finds Iro. And then takes the return. Finds Tate, who in turn finds Innes, who gives it to Dixon. There are two men out wide. There's one man inside, and the man is Lowe's. And Leeds have hit Sheffield with 2 tries in 3 minutes.
Wonderful play by Mercer, running at the angle. You can see how the defence hangs off him. Gets the ball away to the Kiwi Iro. Iro shows his strength. Look how strong he is, can still keep the ball alive. Mercer wants more of the action. He gets it, long ball out wide, Tate linking through. This is a beautiful pass by Craig Innes. Dixon running out wide. Good support play by James Lowes. Leeds are running hot. Super stuff. When you start hunting for work like that, probably a little bit of a claim for the Shepherd there, but Dixon did the right thing. You could see him running for the angle back inside. Knew the defence was sliding across. Good support play.
Good try from James Lowes again, right in front of the sticks. Simon Irving with the conversion, and it's good. And so 12 points in a little over 3 minutes for Leeds. They have taken the lead for the first time. So after a spirited fight back, as Mick Cook warms up on the bench, preparing to come on perhaps for Sheffield Eagles after a spirited start by them, Leeds really have ground their way back into this match in a big way. Anderson. Better tackling that time by Sheffield.
Just shows you the importance of when the forwards do run across the face of the defence at the angles, just as Dixon's doing there.
Maskill, the man in support, taking play up to the halfway mark. Here's Tate and Innes. It's the last tackle now that Craig Innes has got to his feet. Lowe's will kick downfield over the head of Linton Stott, but it comes back into the field of play. Chance for the youngster to show his paces. And gets away neatly from 1-2, but not from the third man. Third man in was Graham Middleton. Now Gary Jack. I must say, Mike, Sheffield Eagles have defended magnificently in the Leeds half of the field, but when they've come to have to defend near their own post, they have been found to be just a touch wanting, haven't they?
Yeah, it's a big problem for them. It's just that the lack of concentration, really trying to get that one line of defence. But full credit to Leeds, just mentioning the fact that they keep running at those angles. That's the one way that you can pull a defence out of the position.
Last tackle this is for Sheffield Eagles. Aston will have to kick downfield. And Jim Fallon has it for Leeds. He'll buzz around this ground when Fallon gets it after his 2 tries last week. And he was unceremoniously brought to ground by Neil James.
You don't see many of those, do you? Tim Lum using the Cumberland throw. It is allowed, of course, if you get your hands to the body first and then use your leg to cross.
Maskill is the dummy half. This is Lowe's and Innes and Iro. You can't get away from those two, and the possession has suddenly swung in the last 10 minutes or so, very much in Leeds' favour. Tate. Plange and Anthony Farrell bring him down. Last tackle. Back to Innes. He took a nasty bouncer away from Gary Jack, and he finds touch. Good kick from Innes again.
Low trajectory there. No chance for the Australian Gary Jack.
Referee just holding the clock up. I think this is where the substitution is going to be made. Mick Cook comes on and Neil James goes off. So Mick Cook coming on. He hasn't trained all week. Neil James, former Leeds man, made his name though at Halifax. He departs the scene for the time being. And Mick Cook, the man that Gary Hetherington says is so important to Sheffield Eagles, comes on. Oh, and Tim Lum made a complete hash of that then, and he is as furious as anyone round this ground.
Yeah, it was a loose forward, Gary Mercer, that just got in the way of that. Perhaps that could have been construed as to being given a penalty. Mercer certainly was interfering there, but the halfback wanted to get on with the job and paid the price.
Maskill at dummy half. Anderson. Here now's O'Neill. Good run from O'Neill. Man who followed Doug Lawton across the Pennines here, had 10 years with him at Widnes. Signed from Rochdale, of course. This is Gary Mercer, who came across in the summer from Warrington. Maskill to Lowe's, changed the direction of the attack to Dixon, and it's paid off. Dixon with the try. It's his 9th of the season. The man who joined Leeds 4 years ago comes up with a 4-pointer.
Good play by Lowe's, a switch of play. The planned move. You could see that the Sheffield defence held off. The strength of this man, the second rower, Paul Dixon, was enough to take him over. Not the best attempt by Paul Broadbent, the Sheffield prop forward, but this was a well-rehearsed move. See the power there, he just pushed off the big prop forward Broadbent. Switches of play, running at the angles. They really have got it all together, but you could see it wasn't the best one line of defence from Sheffield. But let's not take anything away from the man who scored that try. He knew exactly what was happening.
Paul Dixon on another day might well have been across with Great Britain in France. 15 caps for his country. For the Leeds second rower, Simon Irving now with 2 out of 2 so far. this the more difficult of the 3 conversion attempts he's had to face, but shouldn't prove too many problems for him, and doesn't. 18-6, Sheffield have been hit pretty hard in the last 10 minutes or so.
It's all about positioning. Look at the man there. Here's the pivot. Ball comes out, back inside. Let's sit back and enjoy.
Well, Sheffield have done this 3 times in the past 9 minutes. They've restarted after a Leeds try. They began with a bit of a flourish, and it's all come tumbling down for them in 9 nightmare minutes. Maskell at dummy half. Anderson again. Nearly lost it, but just hung on. I say, Mike, well, actually, he didn't hang on at all. He got the ball, eventually came away from him. Looked like for a moment as though he'd managed to keep hold of it here.
Well, he got plenty of help on the way, and then he just lost it at the last minute.
So half an hour gone, Sheffield in possession, inside the danger zone as far as Leeds is concerned. And the ball now with Gary Jack. Can Gary Jack do anything about this situation? He gives it to Gamson, and Gamson is met fair and square by Alan Tate. Tim Lum to Aston. Oh, that looked forward, and the crowd all round Headingley shouted, and referee Robin Whitfield obliged with the whistle.
See quite clearly on the replay there, Aston trying to do the dummy back on the inside. You see the line, the 10-metre line. Prop forward, Broadbent was a yard in front. Well, they've had the chances, Sheffield. It's 3 good chances that they've spilled.
Now Innes, showing a lot of pace and a lot of strength. Good tackling by Gary Jack again. Irving. Stopped by Farrell and Carr. Now Gary Mercer.
You can see on the Leeds side, they're so fast getting up and playing this ball. That's what's creating a lot of problems in the Sheffield defence. Eager to get on with the game.
Lowe's to Innes, to Iro. Fearsome sight, isn't he, Kevin Iro, at full speed with the ball tucked underneath that arm. Tate was charged down. Unfortunately for Leeds, it went to Jim Fallon, and the referee wipes the tackle count back to 0. Alan Tate with a lovely chip ahead, and then football style, he gets it to Iro, over the top from Iro. Tate couldn't hang on. Oh, and that was a chance that went begging, and Alan Tate knows it.
Well, this was good thinking by the full-back. Once again, he could see that Sheffield didn't have the sweeper. Gary Jack had to come through, and great soccer skills there, but not the best pass from the centre, Kevin Iro. That was a bomb try. But great skills by the full-back, Alan Tate.
Yes, good soccer skills. One or 2 football managers I know watch the big league on Sky. They might be a bit impressed by that. Maguire now for Sheffield. McCook. And Aston to Farrell. And Paul Anderson, the Leeds prop forward, is down and receiving treatment. And that was another forward pass from Tim Lum. This time referee Robin Whitfield does not agree. Lum now will hoist the high kick. And Tate drops it under pressure. 6 more to go here. And Tate manages to complete the tackle on Richard Price, but Sheffield have a big chance. 6 more tackles. In possession with Paul Carr, but he can't get around Kevin Iro. Cook to David Plange, as Plange got the strength for the corner. Just held short. More strength from the acting half-back position, this time by Paul Carr. Leeds defence standing firm. Will it now with Aston. Short ball to Broadbent. Aston for the return. Ball out wide to Linton Stott. Stott cutting in field. Perhaps he should have stayed out wide.
Well, he took the gamble, did Linton Stott. Could have been experienced there, but trying to keep the ball alive. Gary Jack not too happy about it. That's another chance gone begging, I feel, for Sheffield. That really was a bad mistake by the fullback, Alan Tate. Most uncharacteristic.
Linton Stott. Perhaps he should have fed the ball out wide. There certainly was a man on the overlap on that far side. But James Lowe's here. Has he dropped the ball? And he has under pressure. So it's Sheffield's head and feed. Another chance for them. Lum. 5 minutes to half-time. Leeds in the driving seat, ahead by 12 points. Can Sheffield do anything about it here with Farrell? Now Lawton, dragging Sheffield to within a couple of metres of the Leeds line. Cook the dummy half. Aston now. He finds Richard Price, helps it on to Gamson. Gamson through a little gap as he stepped away from the challenge of Iro. Couldn't get away from Innes though. Plange at dummy half. Broadbent. And Aston in support. That hit Mike O'Neill's arm. It's 6 more to go for Sheffield. Lawton, they might not need 6. They'll certainly need another 1. Carr on his own from the acting half-back. Is he in? No. Referee right on the spot. Robin Whitfield said he was held back this side of the line. Tim Lum. He finds Maguire. Maguire back to Lum. This is desperate stuff from Leeds in defence. Maguire at dummy half. It's going wider all the time, but it might not need to. And Aston over for the try. Little gap appeared. Aston managed to dart his way through it.
Known for the championship replay. Nice dummy here from the standoff. Mark Aston. Mercer took it. Just shot his way through. See him throw this amazing dummy here. Mercer goes onto it. The gap appears. He goes low. No chance of getting to him. Graham Middleton having no chance. There you saw Mercer take it. Won't be happy with that. But good thinking by Mark Aston. As soon as he saw the gap, he didn't want to just run. He dived low. Very difficult to stop a man like that.
Mark Aston over 1,000 points for the Sheffield Eagles now. He's the club record point scorer. 5 goals and a drop goal against Leeds in December. A try and a goal here so far this afternoon. And trying to improve his own 4-pointer to 6. But the most difficult conversion attempt that we've seen all afternoon. No wind, conditions perfect for goal kickers. But this is not easy, not by any means. And he's missed it. Got the direction right, but slightly offline.
This is what happens when a man, that's Mercer, goes into the middle there, taking the dummy. See you later, baby. In he goes. Good try.
Mark Aston throwing the dummy, scoring the try, and Sheffield have a bit of hope. 18-10. Missed the goal. Tate restarts. To his opposite number, Gary Jack. Dale Lawton, and a little punch thrown at Middleton. He obviously unhappy with the challenge that came in on him. It was a swinging right hook, but he missed him. Unfortunately for Middleton.
I'm not so sure he
no,
missed
he did.
him.
He copped it.
It's a good one. Certainly left his calling card there.
I thought he missed him because Middleton stayed on his feet.
Well, Leeds, of course, holding this 8-point lead. They've done some good work in attacking, but like Sheffield at times, they just lapse into this defensive pattern.
This is Mike O'Neill. Now Gary Mercer. That's the last tackle on Gary Mercer. This is James Lowes. Aiming that for the corner. Will it run dead? That's the question. And Gary Jack decides that it will, and it did.
Just a bit too strong there by the halfback, Lowes. But that's the idea, that's the tactics, keeping it away from Gary Jack. We saw early in this half that they were just peppering Jack and giving him plenty of time to run to the ball.
And there's the half-time siren. So an enterprising first half. Sheffield getting underway with the first try, and then Alan Tate levelling the scores, and then Leeds hitting Sheffield with 3 tries in 9 minutes. And the tries from Tate, Lowes and Dixon. Irving's kicked 3 goals. Gary Jack gave Sheffield the lead, converted by Mark Aston, but Leeds really did hit Sheffield with those 3 tries in 9 minutes in that first half. Match facts show us that the team tackling is not much to choose between the two. Scrums going Sheffield Eagles' way, 6-4, and remarkably not a single penalty in the first 40 minutes here at Headingley today. Handling errors, there have been 11 of them. Leeds have made 6, and Leeds have seen more of the football, with possession going their way 53 to 47%. Leeds captain Alan Tate has led his side back onto the Headingley field, waiting for Sheffield to emerge from the dressing room, and now finally they do, led out by Gary Jack. And substitute for Leeds, 16-year-old Graham Holroyd comes on. It's his debut, and he set up the last-minute Mick Worrell try in the A-team semi-final on Friday for an 18 points to 17 win over Hull. So Leeds have got 2 16-year-olds on the field now. Paul Cook on the wing, and Graham Holroyd, who has come on for this second half. And Gary Jack at 31, of course, has seen it all before and knows what life in the big league is all about. Talking about teenagers, by the way, Leeds no strangers to blooding youngsters at 16. John Holmes, one of the great names in the league history, and Barry Seaborn, captain of the Leeds team that won the title in 1969, both made their debuts at 16. It is a little bit unusual these days because, of course, the youngsters can't sign professional forms until they are 17 years of age. But great to see, Mike, that Doug Lawton giving youth its chance here at Headingley. They've always been able to get the chequebook out for players like Mike O'Neill and company, but now the youngsters are coming through.
Well, maybe it could be a sign of the times, because the last time that the Leeds side did have a purple patch and won quite a few trophies was when all those youngsters were being blooded and brought into the first grade.
This is Paul Anderson. Took 4 to bring him down, and Mark Gamson came steaming in over the top there, using his shoulder and elbow and all sorts. Fortunately, he missed him. Tate with the kick downfield. Young Linton Stott is underneath it for Sheffield. Sheffield picking up Stott's signature against fierce competition from some of the bigger clubs in the league. Here's Dale Lawton. Sheffield just on the halfway line, in possession with Mick Cook. Brought down by Maskill and also the 16-year-old Holroyd. Anthony Farrell now.
Not so sure that Anthony Farrell, the hooker, is fully fit. Haven't seen a lot from him.
And Aston went down as he chased that kick ahead, and referee Robin Whitfield said it was a touch of the diving by Mark Aston, a touch of the Brian Phelps.
There's a replay there. Tried to milk it for all it was worth. Mr. Whitfield having none of that. Pretty important, though, for Sheffield to get points on the board early in the second half. Still 8 points adrift to Leeds.
Last tackle for Leeds. Lowe's kicks downfield. It's collected by Linton Stott eventually. Awkward bouncing ball. It made some progress for Leeds, did that kick. And then the chase from Paul Cook, the other 16-year-old who's on the field today for Leeds. Number 5 on the wing.
This is a man that can really turn it for Sheffield, Mark Aston. Certainly got a lot of skills. Show with that neat dummy to go in for the try. We're looking for something similar to that early in this second half.
Mick Cook going in then to the dummy half roll. Finds Tim Lum, and in turn finds Aston. He gives it to Gary Jack. Jack shows it and gives it to Linton Stott. Still going, his progress eventually halted by Paul Cook, one of the youngest Leeds players ever to make his debut for the club in the history of Headingley, Paul Cook. Aston, clever little kick.
Picked his spot well there. Just took it to the left, under a lot of pressure, but didn't have to dab it too hard. Very talented player.
Replaced Andy Gregory on that 1992 tour. Gregory missing today with injury. The half-back for Leeds in possession is James Lowe's. And now Gary Mercer. Tate called for that. He was on the move and he tried to release the pass and only found the shoulder of a Sheffield Eagles player.
Should have released it earlier. He tried to suck in the man a little bit too long.
Cook finds Maguire. Maguire forced back by Middleton. Here's Aston and Lawton. Sheffield gradually getting closer and closer to that Leeds line. Stott, halted by Innes and Dixon. Lunn is the dummy half. His pass finds Cook, who then finds Aston. Price to Gary Jack. Price in support for the return. But just too much Leeds defence ahead of him. Now here's Paul Carr. It's a good strong run. Ball was attempted dab through by Aston and it was well read by Paul Anderson. 5 minutes second half gone, as you were at half time. 18 points to 10. Leeds ahead. Here's Anderson. And Lowe's to O'Neill. Good run from O'Neill. Still with the enthusiasm for life in the big league, Mike O'Neill. And here's the youngster, Holroyd. Mercer to Tate. Tate to Iro. That was the touch forward to me. Iro's got some pace, but so too has the chasing David Flange. Last tackle. Iro took a knock then. This is Lowe's. Ball dabbed through. Who has the possession? Decision for the referee. Anthony Farrell comes up with it.
Seems in a lot of pain, the halfback James Lowes, as he puts a kick through. Really was taken out with his shoulder, but I think he twisted his leg. Limping slightly is Lowes. Nice little touch there by the substitute, Graham Olroyd.
Kevin Iro is injured in back play too. It's the last thing that Leeds would want with that semi-final due on Saturday against Widnes at Wigan. But there's more important things than that to worry about at the moment. As Mick Cook, did he have the ball stolen from him? He did.
No doubt about this. You'll see Paul Dixon reef that ball away. There you see Robin Whitfield, the referee, coming into your vision. No good for Dixon looking at Whitfield. He had a full view of that. There's the injured Iro.
And that was the first penalty, by the way, in this match, as Iro limps away in 47 minutes. So it's Sheffield on the attack here, 8 points adrift. Looking for the 4 points with Gary Jack. Halted by Jim Fallon. Now Maguire will try his luck. Aston now. Reverse pass finds Carr. Back into all that traffic, releases the ball as he goes down. That was good thinking, but that wasn't. And he was held back. The Leeds player was held back. Another penalty, 2 in quick succession.
Yes, Mark Gamson just getting his hold of the shirt of the loose forward Gary Mercer. Tim Lum trying to bury his way through, gets the ball away. There you can see quite clearly Gamson impeding any chance that the New Zealander Gary Mercer had of trying to get to that football.
Now this is Irving. Well, Jim Fallon has returned to the Leeds fray in place of Kevin Iro, who's gone off hobbling to the dressing room. And there obviously will be casting anxious eyes at that Iro injury to see whether he will be fit for next Saturday. They won't be taking any chances here. There's Holroyd and Tate. Alan Tate showing it. Halted in the end by Mick Cook. It's the last tackle. This is Maskill. And it's now with Lowes. And his kick downfield only finds Gary Jack. Ian Hughes is preparing to come into the battle for Paul Carr, the loose forward. David Plange, that wasn't the best pass in the world from Gamson. Plange made the most of it. Former Castleford man, David Plange. There is Gamson again. Aston now and Lawton. Mick Cook at dummy half. Mark Aston again. Paul Broadbent gets rid of the ball to Maguire, who in turn finds Price, who gives it to Gary Jack. And Craig Innes wraps Gary Jack up. Here's Linton Stott, one-handed. The pass finds Cook. Cook to Aston. And Aston, well, it didn't go dead. Then Paul Cook waited for it to run dead in goal, but it wouldn't go. And that's good chasing by Sheffield. 10 minutes and a half gone, second half. Still 18-10 in Leeds' favour. Now James Lowes with a run. Lawton has stayed down injured. The Sheffield prop forward hasn't moved yet after that tackle. It's Anderson. Nice tackle.
Leeds having a lot of difficulty getting out of their half.
And the kick from Alan Tate dropped straight into the arms of Linton Stott. who is tackled by Paul Cook. Aston, Gary Jack. Tim Lunn to Broadbent, to Farrell. Oh, and the Farrell pass was almost intercepted by Jim Fallon, who got a hand to it and it just wouldn't stick. And good job for Sheffield, it didn't.
Positioned himself well there, Jim Fallon. Just couldn't get the fingertips to drag it in. Not the best of passes there by Anthony Farrell. He should have seen that Fallon had moved in between. Risky business, that.
There's lots of field ahead of Jim Fallon. He would have been over for a try, I think. Ian Hughes now is coming into the match. And Dale Lawton is the man who's gone off, not Paul Carr. Lawton, who was injured in the tackle just a few moments ago. Gamson to Gary Jack. Gary Jack back to Mark Gamson. And Craig Innes wouldn't be put off the job of tackling the man in possession. Linton Stock, a big collision with Simon Irving. Mick Cook.
He's worked hard as Mick Cook since he came on as a substitute.
Aston, Gary Jack linking in. From Tim Lum, it finds Broadbent and Lum again. Long pass out to Farrell. Now they've got a bit of space on that far side. David Plans cuts inside Fallon. He gives it in field to Gamson, and Gamson is hauled back. Good defence, Leeds.
Excellent scrambling defence by Leeds there, and a little bit of a fracas. You can see the numbers. Took that man out into the touch. As I mentioned, Eddie, it's been a big problem for Leeds trying to get out of this quarter. They've been under a lot of pressure, but as yet, Sheffield still not added to their half-time score.
Here's Middleton now, trying to get away from the danger zone. Sheffield doing a good job in keeping Leeds penned back in their own half in the opening minutes of this second half. Coming up to 14 minutes on my watch, it's 18-10 still to Leeds. Mike O'Neill in possession. Disappears under the challenge from three of them. They're defending stoutly, our Sheffield Eagles. Holroyd. To Mercer, to Irving. Fallon is there. That's neat play from Fallon. Made good progress right up to the halfway line. And Fallon not happy with the challenge on him by Farrell.
That was silly play there by Farrell. Fallon was trying to milk it for all it's worth, and just that little push. Just a lack of concentration there. Sheffield have applied all that pressure. One silly mistake allows Leeds to get off the hook.
And Lee Harland, another of the bright young things, only 18 years old, prop forward, comes on. And I think it's Graham Middleton who has gone off. And the news from the dressing room is bad for Leeds. Kevin Iro has a hamstring pull, and that could be problems for the semi-final next week.
That is a bitter blow for the Leeds side.
Dixon to Lowe's, and of course we don't know what scars will come home from the Great Britain match in France, with Schofield, Malloy and Hanley all taking part. Always a tough battle across the channel, and I'm sure today in Carcassonne was no exception. Full time on that match, by the way, for you at the end of this game here at Headingley tonight. And highlights from Carcassonne in Boots and All tomorrow at 10 o'clock. That's a nice jinking run, though, from Holroyd, who brought Haaland into the play. The two young subs working well together. Mercer's pass, or attempted pass, came off the back of Maguire, and the referee says that that is 6 to go. Well,
I can't believe that.
Baffler, isn't it?
That was accidental. He made no attempt to get it. You can't just throw the ball against a man and expect to get 6 back.
Well, they've got them, and they're in possession with Lowe's. Still going, Lowe's. Tate was the man in support, and he ran straight into Simon Irving. and then he ran into Anthony Farrell. Good long pass to Mercer. Mercer out to Paul Cook, and the young 16-year-old gets his third try of the season. But the controversial decision by Robin Whitfield to give Leeds 6 more tackles.
Good play by Leeds, a long ball out wide. Holroyd sends a beauty across. It wasn't the best, but taken by the Kiwi loose forward, Gary Mercer. Misses the man out, and the youngster, Paul Cook, celebrates, and why not? Great to see youngsters coming into our game, especially in the top quality of first grade. Lovely long ball from another youngster. Took it well on the half volley, Mercer. They just ran out, didn't they? Look at the gap out wide. Craig Innes can't believe it. He thought he was going in for it, but the long ball, well taken by the young winger.
Only 16, still on amateur forms. He scored 2 tries on his debut against Rochdale in the Cup. That's the 3rd of the season for him. But should this have been 6 to go, Steve-O? That's the question that Sheffield will be asking.
Well, he made no attempt to keep going, but as far as I'm concerned, that should have just been carry on. I didn't think that Bruce Maguire made any attempt to try to involve himself with the football, but I'm not the referee.
Irving with the conversion attempt. Great kick, magic kick from Simon Irving. One off the touchline, and Leeds 24. The try, by the way, coming on the 3rd of the extra 6 tackles that Robin Whitfield gave Leeds. And the incident when the ball came off the back of Bruce Maguire came on the 4th tackle. So whatever way you look at it, it was on the 7th tackle, and Leeds being given a bit of charity.
Well, I have to agree with you there, Eddie, but to be fair, Sheffield can look at themselves because they really did give a silly penalty away, the hook at Anthony Farrell, that allowed Leeds to get into the Sheffield quarter.
This is an impressive youngster, isn't it, Graham Holroyd? It was his long pass to Mercer that split the Sheffield defence. And he played in that 18 Cup semi-final on Friday. Meanwhile, Paul Dixon has a bit of a smile with Mark Aston. He lost the ball.
Just the impact there. It was Dixon that pushed the ball to the ground. Yes, he's a very talented player, this Graham Holroyd. I've been impressed with the fact that since he's come on, he's taking charge out there. He's telling the others what to do. I'll go first man. Come inside. Very confident for a youngster.
Now Plange just leaps over the grounded players and keeps going. And Holroyd there, the man to bring him down with his young partner Lee Harland. Aston. Broadbent. Midway through this second half, Leeds with a 14-point advantage. Sheffield kicking themselves. They didn't make any more use of that overwhelming amount of possession and pressure they had at the start of this second half.
Well, they're becoming their worst enemy. High tackle. The centre Mark Gamson. He's been running the gauntlet, I feel, all through this game. This time Robin Whitfield has had enough. A little bit of frustration from the Sheffield centre. Right swinging arm. I'm afraid that Sheffield appear to be losing the plot now.
Well, they've never won here at Headingley. This is a frustrating afternoon for them. Maskill to Mike O'Neill.
Just get the feeling that this game's hotting up slightly. Let's hope we don't lose control of it.
Dixon gets rid of the ball in the tackle. Anderson continues the movement. That's Haaland. And Tate. Dixon in a dummy half this time. Mercer called for that. He was the runner, the loose forward. Last tackle, Maskill. Lowe's hammers it downfield, finds touch.
Good thinking by the halfback, James Lowe's there. Called for the ball on the blind side. Sheffield hadn't got back quick enough. Just at the right time. He's taking charge, the little halfback.
Yes, he's been playing hooker here at Headingley since he arrived, but he's in the halfback role today, is James Lowe's. Sheffield moving the ball along the line, but in their own quarter. This is Richard Price.
Well, they're entering the panic time now, aren't they, Sheffield? They've got to take risks, take gambles that they wouldn't normally do. 24-10 astray.
Aston. And the referee allowing them to carry on, despite the fact that Ian Hughes was there and collided with a Leeds player alongside Aston. Here's Broadbent. Gets the ball away to Paul Carr. Carr motioning players towards him. Gets the pass away in the end. This is Gamson once more. It's the last tackle for Sheffield. Tim Lum. High kick. Farrell's there, but so too is Tate. And he took it well.
Excellent there. You could see that there was no one else going to take it.
Innes now, managing to keep his feet, getting away from Broadbent. Couldn't get away from Price or from Stott. Maskill, Mercer. Jim Fallon got a hand to it. The referee said that he got a hand to it and it went backwards even though it dropped to the ground. A bit of magic perhaps from Fallon. No, not with the attention of Farrell all round him. O'Neill. Still O'Neill. Good strong run from him. He finds Maskill. And Maskill felled by a copybook tackle from Gary Jack.
But he should have got that ball away. He had Tate on the inside.
Lovely dummy from Holroyd, and Holroyd for the corner. Brilliant stuff from the youngster. Lost the boot in the tackle as well, but had the presence of mind to keep going. Lovely siding run from him, a great dummy back in play, and he foxed the entire Eagles defence.
Stone's bit of championship replay. We mentioned about the youngster being so confident. Look at this. Throw the dummy, prop forward, Paul Broadbent, can't believe it. Even on one boot, he has enough speed. The sock gets longer and longer, but he's there. Great try. Wonderful individual brilliance from that man. He'll enjoy tonight.
16-year-old, his first try in the big league. A moment to remember for Graham Holroyd. So he found the line in the corner, and it means another difficult job for Simon Irving to maintain that 100% kicking record of his. Put one over from a similar situation not too long ago. Can he do same again here? And this time the sight was just not right. But Leeds 28, Sheffield Eagles 10.
Well, there's the youngster there. You throw the dummy, off they go. The defence, he comes through. Beautiful skills, talent, excellent play. Full of confidence, as we mentioned, well deserved.
Well, it's all changed while you were watching that. Graham Middleton has come on for Gary Mercer. Mercer going off. Leeds obviously thinking that this game is well and truly wrapped up, bearing next Saturday's important date in mind. And for Sheffield, they've made a couple of changes too. Lawton and James have returned, and it's Broadbent and Paul Carr who have gone off. There's Neil James, the former Leeds man, and Paul Carr taking his place on the bench.
Good thinking by the Leeds coach, Doug Lawton. Gary Mercer, key man in his side. He's had a big game, Mercer. He's led by example.
Well, they're warming up now for Central Park, are the crowd. Dougie Lawton's yellow and blue army. There's Lee Harland. Colin Maskill to Mike O'Neill.
I'm just wondering, Eddie, will Dougie Lawton drop a bombshell? After seeing the skills of that youngster there, will he take a gamble and throw him on the substitutes bench?
It would be a heck of a gamble, wouldn't it? But what a player he looks like he's going to be. Remember, he played on Friday night in that A-team semi-final, laid on the match-winning try in the last minute that brought Leeds' victory over Hull. And he's marked his debut in the big league here today with an excellent try. Great prospect. A lot has been made about the age of some of the lead stars in this Headingley setup this year, and I think we should be making the point here tonight that Holroyd, Haaland and Cook, they certainly do look three for the future. Sheffield are having to do a lot of work in the tackle department. Interception, it's Holroyd again, and Holroyd right under the sticks. The crowning moment for him. Little wing, such confidence and such tender years.
Well, he read it well, didn't he? He knows the ploy of Aston, bringing the man through. He was trying to send Ian Hughes away. The result was 4 points to the youngster. He read it well. He knew exactly what he was going to do. When you've got such a good scoreboard, a good lead, you can take gambles like that. Well played. Here it comes again. Good positioning there. Take the chance. Well, for years, we've been calling Gary Schofield the poacher. Will this man follow in his footsteps in the same illustrious manner?
Second try of the season, second try of the match for Graham Holroyd, right under the sticks. 2 in 5 minutes for the 16-year-old. Simon Irving from bang in front makes it Leeds 34, Sheffield Eagles 10.
There you see that Aston has put the ball through. He's positioned himself well. He's moving forward as a youngster. Fingertip control. Nice little step. Little look round. No one close to him. Scores the 4 points. Little wink to Dougie Lawton. I'm still here.
So Leeds have got this match in their pocket now. 10 minutes to go. Time now for the Leeds players to show their skills. And here's Anderson, who's run hard and strong all afternoon. It would be a major gamble, Mike, for Doug Lawton to put Holroyd, who's in possession now, on the bench for that semi-final. I don't think he's in the mood to take that sort of gamble, but he is certainly a man that we must watch in the future, this 16-year-old.
Well, I've seen other coaches make gambles before. Dougie Lawton's made quite a few in his illustrious career as a coach. Nice kick here, getting to a point where prop forwards now coming into the act. Taking control, Dougie Lawton seems quite happy with the proceedings, and why not?
Watching this game through rose-coloured spectacles today and enjoying what he sees. And the ball is broken clear again for Leeds. This is Craig Innes. Innes still going, but eventually surrounded and overwhelmed. But it's all going wrong for Sheffield. It's all going so right at the minute for Leeds. Lowe's.
Well, a hat-trick for the youngster, that would certainly set things up, wouldn't it?
This is James Lowe's. Sheffield hadn't got him to ground properly. He was able to get up and carry on with the run, so they're now 2 meters from the line. Anderson drops it.
Just spilt out there, Anthony Farrell dropped into the breadbasket.
And after the start, as we watch this Anderson slip, after the start Sheffield Eagles had with that Gary Jack try, after what, 6 or 7 minutes or so, it's all gone from bad to worse for them, hasn't it?
Well, it was all a matter of taking your chances. They had the opportunity, they didn't stare them, especially when they came out for the second half. They were camped in the Leeds quarter for about 15 minutes and came away with nothing.
Gamson's worked hard. Plange at dummy half has run strongly whenever he has had the ball, apart from on that occasion when he kicked for touch. But they look dispirited, don't they, Sheffield?
Yeah, they appear to me as though they've run out of steam a little bit. Nice kick, though, by David Plange. He'll never give in.
Holroyd again, the man on a hat-trick. Two tries on his debut in the Cup, and now 2 tries on his big league debut. The referee wipes the tackle can clean, courtesy of that big hit.
Just get a feeling here, the crowd at Headingley looking towards another bit of brilliance, perhaps.
Maskell's the dummy half, and Haaland met by Ian Hughes. Maskell's there again. Holroyd to Anderson. That's the last tackle. Here's Holroyd. What a mistake from Linton Stott.
Well, it's a bit of a shame for the young winger. He's had a fine game, but things just not going for them now. Sheffield doesn't have to be told.
Just under 5 minutes to go. Leeds 34, Sheffield 10. Leeds in possession with Dixon. James Lowe's from dummy half. They play the ball taken quickly. Sheffield having to reorganise. This is Maskell. Maskell just hauled down a metre short of the line. Middleton is the dummy half. Now Lowe's. Applying the brakes and then coming inside. Hughes and Mick Cook read the situation well. Now Dixon. And he gets the ball away to Middleton. It's as easy as that. The wheels have come off for Sheffield Eagles, but Leeds are storming to the line here.
Stone's bit of championship replay will show the combination of the 2 second rowers. Excellent strength here by Dixon. That was wonderful football. 3 men hanging around him, but he still had the strength. It was a planned move, the step there, but he should have been shut down. But look at the strength. Well done by Dixon. Good support play by his second row partner, Graham Middleton.
Irving with the conversion. Another successful kick for him. And Leeds hit the 40 mark. Leeds 40, Sheffield 10. Quite a win this for Leeds. Remember, they were beaten by Sheffield Eagles at the Don Valley in December. And that defeat was Leeds' last in the big league before Wednesday night against Wigan. It just shows you, if you think about the 3 months of magic that the Leeds fans have enjoyed here at Headingley, Mike, had they not had such a poor start to the season, they could have been championship contenders themselves at this point.
Yeah, they must be kicking themselves here at Headingley. It really was a bad start to the season. In fact, 92 was woeful for them. But 93 saw a certain change in character. Certainly stiffened up their defence. That's been the key to this second half performance as well. I'm sure that the coach Lawton would have emphasised that they had to tighten that up. Just went a little bit astray late in that first half. But the scrambling defence has been excellent this second stanza.
And here comes Simon Irving. The goal kicker fancies the 4 points, but not like that. Although it has come off a Sheffield Eagles player, so play on is the referee's decision. And he's dropped the tackle count down again to 0. So Leeds can come sweeping forward again. Holroyd to Middleton. And Middleton with all the strength in the world. And Aston and Farrell combining in the end to bring him down. O'Neill. Lowe's. Still going Lowe's. He had the strength to brush Bruce Maguire away, and now a bit of soccer skills. Well, he didn't have the ball in his hand when Mick Cook made that tackle, but the referee was happy it was quite legal. Sheffield then get the ball back. Linton Stott.
I felt that Mick Cook had committed himself to the tackle. Good refereeing by Whitfield.
Entering the last minute, Sheffield Eagles in possession, and this is the 4th visit to Headingley. Previous results perhaps indicate what they were in for today. They lost 50 points to 2 on their first journey here, 44-2 for the second, 38-16, so things were improving. And today, 40 points to 10, and we still have half a minute or so of normal time, plus whatever the timekeepers add on. So a comprehensive victory for Leeds. And Simon Irving gets the ball back again. He thought he was on his way then for a Holroyd-style interception try. Here comes Mike O'Neill. Holroyd to Dixon. Big collision. Dixon stands up though, gets the ball away to Tate. He finds Maxgill. Maxgill finds Holroyd. We're into time added on now for stoppages. Lowe's, Maskill, Innes. Still Craig Innes. The support was there from Tate. The Tate run, the pass to O'Neill, and Leeds finish with another try. Mike O'Neill. Only his 3rd try of the season, and it comes in the final minutes.
Stones, but a championship replay. What a way to finish off the game. Keeping the ball alive. The New Zealander centre, Craig Innes, playing at standoff today. Throws the dummy back inside. Excellent support play by Alan Tate. But better support by this man, the prop forward, Mike O'Neill. Icing on the cake. None better when a prop forward is the one that's piping it too. Excellent stuff. Kept his cool, did Tate. So did this man. Did the right thing, ran at the referee, made sure that the post would stop anyone trying to get to him. What a way to finish.
Simon Irving then. He makes it 7 successful kicks from 8 attempts. and Leeds 46, Sheffield Eagles 10. There'll be no more action in this match. Leeds go off to the semi-final in great spirit and great heart. An excellent win. They had to come from behind early on, and in Graham Holroyd they have a star for the future. Two: Tate, Cork O'Neill, Lowe's, Holroyd with 2, Dixon and Middleton, Irving kicking 7 from 8. Well, after the match I spoke to the young man of the moment, 16-year-old Graham Holroyd. Graham, quite a way to mark your big league debut with those 2 tries.
Yeah, great. You know, found out on Friday that I'd be playing in the first team. You know, I was subbing, but I was just excited about, you know, playing with Alan Tate and all big stars at Leeds.
16 years old, you've obviously got a big future in the game.
Well, it's early days yet. You know, I've got a long way to go. You know, my first aim is to get a, you know, full, you know, team debut. You know, starting from start and then try and keep my place there.
Yes, it's difficult in a side of all these stars, though, isn't it?
Yeah, very difficult with Scoy and them not playing, no, could tell. So, you know, I hope, you know, in a few years that I'll get my standoff spot or loose forward spot.
Well, I'm sure if you continue like that, you will do. Alan Tate, a star is born here.
Yeah, great player. I was saying before the game, I don't want to bring him onto the game, so he has to change the game. I want him to have an easy run, but he's proved us all wrong. He changed the whole thing. He won it for us, really. No, we've got a few young players. Dougie's brought a few good young players, and you know, it was great to bring him onto this game today. And he's experienced in this game and go from strength to strength.